Welcome back, American Coin Hunter. When most people think of a penny, a 1-cent coin from the United States, they imagine something ordinary and almost worthless, something you find in jars or at the bottom of a couch cushion. But the 1979 penny, officially the United States Lincoln 1-cent coin minted in 1979, holds a far richer and more complex story than you might expect. From its design and composition, to the subtle varieties and mint errors that can make certain examples collectible, to its market value and how collectors really price these coins today. This coin offers a surprising journey through history, art, metallurgy, economics, and passion-filled hobbyist markets. In this script, I'm going to take you deep into everything you need to know about the 1979 penny, how it was made, what it looks like, and how serious coin collectors think about it. But let's begin with what the 1979 penny is. Pure facts about its physical attributes and design. The 1979 Lincoln penny belongs to the long-running series of Lincoln cents that began in 1909 as a commemoration of Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the obverse side, the front, you see a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by Victor David Brenner. You'll notice the words "In God We Trust" arching over Lincoln's head, Liberty to the left, and the date, 1979, just below the rim on the right. Turn the coin over to the reverse side, and you find the elegant depiction of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., designed by Frank Gasparo. This is the same memorial that millions of visitors have seen in person, and on the coin you can even make out the tiny statue of Lincoln seated within the memorial, visible between the columns if you have good lighting and good eyesight. Around the top, you'll read United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, above the building's frieze, and 1 cent directly below the memorial. Physically, the 1979 penny is made mostly of copper, 95% copper with the remaining 5% a mix of tin and zinc. It weighs about 3.11 grams, is 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a plain, smooth edge. These specifications are the same for pennies struck in Philadelphia, which often have no mint mark, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. From a pure production standpoint, the 1979 penny was massively common. The Philadelphia Mint alone struck over 6 billion coins that year, making it one of the most plentiful Lincoln pennies in history. For that reason, if you hold a typical circulated 1979 penny in your hand, one that's been spending years in wallets, cash registers, and piggy banks, its collector value often mirrors its face value of 1 cent or just slightly above, especially if it's worn or damaged. But here's where things get interesting. Not all pennies from 1979 are created equal. For coin collectors, numismatists, it's not just age that matters, but condition, rarity, mint variety, grading, and errors. In circulated condition, these coins might be worth only a fraction of a dollar above face value. But in uncirculated condition, particularly when the surfaces retain their original brilliant red luster, what collectors call red or RD, the value increases significantly. Some uncirculated 1979 pennies graded extremely high by professional grading services have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. For example, a 1979 Lincoln cent graded MS68 red sold at a major auction for nearly $2. 820. One of the most fascinating aspects of 1979 proof pennies, especially those struck at the San Francisco Mint, is that there are two distinct varieties collectors seek, Type 1 and Type 2 proofs, differentiated by the appearance of the S mint mark. Type 1 coins have a softer, filled-in mint mark, while Type 2 coins display a sharper, clearer S. The rarer and higher-graded Type 2 proofs can command premium prices relative to typical proof coins. Another fascinating niche of value in coin collecting comes from mint errors and unusual strikes. Rare types of errors, such as extreme double dies, off-center strikes where the coin is struck away from its intended center, or clipped planchets where part of the blank was missing when struck, can dramatically increase the collectible value of a coin. A 1979 penny with a true doubling on the lettering, where letters like Liberty appear doubled, or an off-center strike that is dramatic enough to affect the design significantly, can be worth several tens to hundreds of dollars or more, depending on the magnitude and collector interest. Now you might be wondering, With so many coins out there, could a single 1979 penny possibly ever sell for millions? The short answer, based on documented auction results and expert price guides, is no, not for a standard 1979 Lincoln penny. Experts who track coin sales show the highest legitimate auction records for 1979 pennies well below the $1 million mark, and even the most perfect, rare varieties typically sell for high thousands rather than tens of millions. What does fuel incredible claims online are often listing prices on marketplace sites where sellers overprice coins based on speculation or wishful thinking, not actual sales data. Sellers may list a common penny for exaggerated sums hoping someone will buy, but actual realized auction prices tell a much more grounded story of what collectors truly pay. Where the idea of pennies becoming more collectible has real weight is now that the U.S. Mint has officially stopped producing the penny as of late 2025. This marks the end of over 2 centuries of uninterrupted penny production. The final pennies struck were specially marked and may themselves become significant collectibles, but the vast majority of pennies in circulation, including 1979 examples, will remain valuable to collectors only insofar as they meet certain condition and rarity criteria. Understanding coin grading is essential to appreciating why certain pennies are worth more. The professional grading scale runs from heavily worn coins at the low end to uncirculated coins with pristine surfaces at the high end. A coin graded MS60 is uncirculated but may lack strong luster, while something like MS68RD or above is exceptionally well struck and free from imperfections visible even under magnification. Proof coins, specially made for collectors with a mirror-like finish, have their own scale and can fetch higher prices when in near-perfect condition. Beyond the design, weight, and standard details of the 1979 penny, the real excitement for collectors comes from understanding the rarer examples, the subtle varieties, and the coin's condition under professional grading standards. While millions of these pennies were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, and hundreds of millions in total, certain factors make some 1979 pennies stand out in the numismatic market. One key factor is the mint mark, as it indicates the coin's origin. Coins minted in Philadelphia often have no mint mark, while Denver coins bear a small D on the obverse next to the date, and San Francisco coins have an S. Among collectors, proof pennies from the San Francisco Mint, particularly in flawless condition, are highly prized. These proofs were struck with specially polished dies on specially prepared planchets, giving them a mirror-like finish, sharper details, and a reflective quality that standard circulation pennies cannot match. A 1979 proof penny can come in Type 1 or Type 2 varieties, and understanding these differences is crucial for serious collectors. Type 1 proof coins often have a softer, slightly filled-in S mint mark, while Type 2 proofs show a clearer, more sharply defined mint mark. The Type 2 proofs are rarer and often command a higher premium on auction markets. In the world of coin collecting, these subtle differences can be the difference between a coin selling for a few $100s versus over $1,000, depending on its grade and eye appeal. Collectors will often seek coins that are perfectly centered, with fully struck details, and free of any scratches, marks, or discoloration. Any imperfection can reduce the value significantly, which is why grading becomes a critical component in determining market worth. Professional grading is done by companies such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, and coins are assigned a grade from MS60 to MS70 for uncirculated coins. An MS60 coin is uncirculated but may show contact marks or lack full luster, while an MS70 is perfect in every way. The grading process is meticulous and requires magnification, careful inspection of surfaces, and assessment of strike quality. Red Lincoln cents, often labeled RD, refer to coins retaining their original red copper color. Over time, pennies turn brown as the copper oxidizes. Therefore, a 1979 penny that still maintains a full red luster is far more desirable than one that has turned brown. Even small differences in color and luster can add hundreds or thousands of dollars to the coin's value. Errors also play a significant role in increasing a coin's value. For the 1979 penny, some notable error types include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets. A double die occurs when the coin is struck more than once due to misalignment during the minting process, resulting in visible doubling of letters or numerals. For example, doubling on the date 1979 or on the word liberty can make a coin highly collectible. Off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned under the press, result in partial images on the coin. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more collectors are willing to pay. Some extreme off-center pennies have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how unusual and visually striking the error is. Clipped planchets, where part of the coin blank is missing before being struck, are another sought-after variety among collectors. These coins are valued not just for rarity, but for the story they tell about the minting process. The market for 1979 pennies is influenced by supply, demand, and historical significance. Because billions of pennies were minted that year, typical circulated coins are plentiful and thus carry minimal premium. However, uncirculated coins, proofs, and error coins are rarer and therefore more valuable. Auctions provide the best insight into actual market values. For example, a high-grade MS 68 red penny from Philadelphia or Denver might sell in the $300 to $600 range, whereas proof coins, especially Type 2 proofs in perfect condition, can fetch $1,000 or more. Extreme error coins like an off-center or double-die 1979 penny can achieve prices of several $1,000s, though coins claiming outrageous prices like tens or hundreds of millions are almost certainly speculative or fraudulent listings rather than actual sales. Serious collectors rely on documented auction results and verified grading to determine real-world value. Collectors also care about the story behind the coin. The 1979 penny represents the continuation of the Lincoln cent series, a coinage design that has been in continuous production since 1909. This coin carries the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most revered presidents, and features both the artistry of Victor David Brenner on the obverse and Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This makes even standard 1979 pennies a piece of American history, reflecting both historical and artistic significance. Moreover, copper content adds intrinsic appeal, as the coin is 95% copper. While it is illegal to melt pennies in the U.S., copper's historical value and the coin's metal composition add another layer of fascination for collectors. In addition, the story of penny collecting itself adds value. Many collectors have dedicated decades to building full collections of Lincoln cents, tracking rare varieties, mint errors, and uncirculated examples year by year. A 1979 penny might be a single coin in a much larger collection, but its role as part of a completed set increases its perceived value among enthusiasts. The passion, research, and care that collectors invest often mean that even minor variations in color, strike quality, or mint mark can result in significant differences in value. For casual viewers or new collectors, one of the most interesting aspects is simply learning how to evaluate a coin. Look closely at the 1979 penny. Is the date clear and fully formed? Is the Lincoln Memorial sharply defined, or is it worn down? Are there unusual marks, misalignments, or doubling of letters? Does the coin still shine with red luster, or is it brown and worn? These visual clues immediately tell you whether the coin might have collectible value. Even small differences, a tiny doubled letter, a faint die crack, or a slightly off-center strike, can turn a common penny into a sought-after collector's item. The 1979 penny also serves as an introduction to understanding the broader world of numismatics, where coins are valued not just as currency, but as artifacts of history, culture, and artistry. Every scratch, mark, or discoloration is a record of the coin's journey, from the mint to cash registers, to collections, to the hands of a collector today. While some 1979 pennies are ordinary and worth only a cent, others tell stories of errors, perfection, or historical continuity, giving them value far beyond their face denomination. Finally, the long-term outlook for 1979 pennies depends on preservation and collector interest. As time passes, well-preserved pennies become rarer, particularly in full red condition or as proof coins. Numismatists predict that collectors will continue to seek these coins, especially those with unusual features or exceptional grades. The thrill of finding an MS-68 red or an extreme error coin in a jar of change keeps the market vibrant. Even if you only have a single 1979 penny today, examining it closely, learning its characteristics, and understanding the subtle variations can connect you to a rich history of coin collecting, artistry, and American heritage. While most 1979 pennies are common and unremarkable in everyday circulation, there exists a subset that has captured the fascination of collectors and investors alike. Some of these coins have sold at auctions for sums that may surprise the casual observer, not because they are worth hundreds of millions, but because they embody the perfect combination of rarity, condition, and historical interest. Take, for instance, a high-grade 1979 D penny struck at the Denver Mint in MS-67 red. These coins are highly sought after because the D Mint mark distinguishes them from their Philadelphia counterparts, and MS-67 represents near perfection with full red luster and sharp, well-centered details. Coins like this, when sold in reputable numismatic auctions, can command prices in the range of $500 to $1,200, depending on market demand and the interest of specialized Lincoln cent collectors. One particularly interesting niche in 1979 pennies is the proof coin market. Proofs were never meant for circulation. They were struck using specially polished dies and carefully prepared planchets to create a mirror-like finish. In 1979, the San Francisco Mint produced these proofs, and some of the most collectible examples are in Type II format, which displays a sharp S mint mark. Collectors prize these coins because they are not only visually stunning, but are also a representation of mint craftsmanship at its peak. A perfect Type II proof in MS-70 condition can fetch upwards of $1,500 to $2,000 at auction. The beauty of these coins lies not just in their perfection, but also in the meticulous process used to strike them, a process that makes each proof a miniature work of art. Errors add another fascinating layer to the 1979 penny story. Among the most notable are off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during the press, resulting in partial designs. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more value it holds. For example, a 1979 penny off-center by 20 to 30% could sell for hundreds of dollars, while extreme cases approaching 50% misalignment could reach over $1,000. Double dies are another major error type. These occur when the die itself is misaligned or struck twice, creating a doubling effect on letters or numbers. A 1979 penny with doubling on the date or the word Liberty becomes instantly collectible. Even experienced numismatists get excited when spotting a subtle doubling, because it signifies an anomaly in the minting process, which transforms an otherwise ordinary coin into a rare collectible. Some 1979 pennies also show evidence of die cracks or cuds, where part of the die broke or chipped during production, leaving raised lines or irregularities on the coin. These features, while considered defects by some, are treasures for error collectors. Each die crack tells a story of a minting press under pressure and the imperfections that naturally arise in mass production. Coins with clear, visually striking die cracks have been known to sell for several $100s or more, particularly when the coin is in otherwise uncirculated condition. Collectors also value coins for their placement in a full Lincoln cent collection. The 1979 penny completes a decade of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. Serious collectors strive to have every year in every mint mark in pristine condition. A single 1979 penny in perfect MS-67 red, for example, could be the final piece in a long-sought collection, dramatically increasing its perceived value. The emotional and historical satisfaction of completing a set cannot be overstated. Collectors often pay a premium to fill those gaps, knowing that future opportunities to acquire high-grade examples may be rare. Auction records for 1979 pennies provide insight into how these coins are valued in the real world. For instance, an MS-68 red 1979 penny might sell for $2,500, while a high-grade Type II San Francisco proof could exceed $1,800. Extreme error coins, such as an off-center double die, could reach up to $3,000 in niche auction markets. These prices reflect verified sales, not speculative online listings, and they demonstrate that even a relatively modern penny can achieve impressive value when the right combination of rarity, quality, and collector demand aligns. The historical context of the 1979 penny adds additional layers of intrigue. Minted in a year that sat between the economic turbulence of the late 1970s and the modernization of coin production in the 1980s, the coin represents both continuity and change in U.S. currency. It continued the Lincoln Memorial design introduced in 1959, bridging generations of collectors, and its copper composition reflects the materials that dominated U.S. coinage for decades. Unlike later pennies struck with mostly zinc cores, the 1979 penny retains the feel, weight, and color of traditional copper, making it particularly attractive for collectors interested in authentic, historic coinage. Beyond condition, errors, and rarity, the appeal of the 1979 penny also lies in numismatic storytelling. Each coin carries with it a history of circulation, wear, and human interaction. From wallets and cash registers to the hands of children and adults over decades, these pennies have quietly witnessed ordinary life in America. For collectors, this adds a narrative dimension that increases emotional and sometimes monetary value. When paired with historical knowledge about the mint, the coin's production process, and its role in the Lincoln cent series, the 1979 penny becomes more than a 1-cent piece. It becomes a tangible piece of American heritage. Collectors often combine visual inspection with professional authentication to ensure their coins are genuine and accurately graded. Magnification reveals minute details like die polish lines, surface luster, and potential errors that might not be visible to the naked eye. This meticulous process explains why professional grading and certification significantly affect a coin's market value. A 1979 penny that appears perfect to the untrained eye might only earn an MS 64 grade, while subtle indicators of exceptional quality could elevate a coin to MS 68 or higher, dramatically increasing its auction price. In addition, the 1979 penny has become part of educational collections, coin exhibitions, and private investment portfolios. Its collectible appeal is reinforced by the broader trend of preserving mid-20th century coins that are still attainable yet increasingly rare in high-grade condition. As time passes and more circulated coins are lost or damaged, the remaining high-grade examples, particularly uncirculated red coins or proof coins, become even more desirable. This scarcity drives prices upward in a predictable and sustainable way within the collector market. Finally, even though wild claims of extreme prices often circulate online, the true value of a 1979 penny is always tied to actual sales records, collector interest, and verified condition. A typical circulated penny might be worth a cent or two, while uncirculated, high-grade, proof, or error coins can reach hundreds or low thousands. The excitement comes from the detective work involved in spotting rare features, understanding grading nuances, and connecting a coin to the broader story of American coinage. It's this combination of history, artistry, science, and collector passion that makes the 1979 penny not just a coin, but a treasure for anyone willing to look closely and appreciate its story. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting 1979 pennies is the hunt for hidden gems, coins that might be sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, or old coin collections. Many collectors have stories of stumbling upon a rare proof, a high-grade uncirculated coin, or an error penny completely by accident. It could be as simple as finding a 1979 penny with unusually bright red luster at the bottom of a coin roll, or discovering a faint doubling on the word Liberty after magnifying a single coin from change. These discoveries transform what might seem like an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collectible, sometimes worth hundreds or even over $1,000. The thrill of finding such a coin in everyday circulation is a large part of why collectors remain passionate about Lincoln cents. Estate collections, inherited coin boxes, and old coin albums often harbor some of the most unexpected finds. A 1979 penny in MS 66 or higher condition, especially with full red color, may have been stored carefully for decades, untouched by circulation. Coins that have been kept away from sunlight, moisture, and handling often retain their original brilliance, making them extremely attractive to collectors. Even coins that appear slightly worn can reveal errors or subtle die varieties upon close inspection, and these minor anomalies can drastically increase a coin's value. Collector anecdotes often revolve around small but significant differences that dramatically affect a coin's desirability. For instance, one collector might discover a 1979 D penny with a faint die crack that runs across the Lincoln Memorial. While it might look like a minor scratch to the untrained eye, collectors immediately recognize it as a mint error and price it accordingly. Similarly, off-center strikes can vary from minor misalignments to extreme cases where part of Lincoln's face or the memorial is missing entirely. Coins with extreme off-center strikes, though rare, are particularly valuable because they are unique. No two are exactly alike. These coins are frequently sold at specialized auctions, sometimes fetching 2 to 3 times the value of typical high-grade 1979 pennies in addition to errors and unusual conditions. There are varieties that only the most meticulous collectors track, such as subtle differences in lettering thickness, spacing, or alignment. For example, the way the date, 1979, is struck can vary slightly from die to die, and some collectors focus exclusively on these minor differences. Similarly, proof coins from the San Francisco Mint can show small variations in mirror-like fields, cameo contrast, or mint mark clarity. Experienced collectors know that spotting these differences early can lead to securing a coin before its value is widely recognized, sometimes yielding a significant premium when the coin is eventually sold. Auctions are another window into the hidden value of 1979 pennies. While most circulated coins sell for near face value or a few cents above, auction houses specializing in numismatics frequently showcase high-grade or error coins that attract competitive bidding. For example, a 1979 Lincoln Cent graded MS 68RD with exceptional eye appeal might sell for $2,500 or more, while a dramatic off-center error could exceed $3,000. Proof coins in MS 69 or MS 70 condition, especially Type 2 examples with sharply defined S mint marks, are even more prized, sometimes reaching $2,000 to $3,000 at auction. These sales demonstrate that while the majority of 1979 pennies are plentiful, select examples can generate substantial collector interest and financial value. Another tip for spotting valuable pennies in circulation is to look at color and luster. Coins that retain full red color are often more valuable than those that have turned brown or partially red-brown. The original copper surface is highly prized, and even subtle differences in tone can influence the coin's market price. A coin that appears dull but still has underlying red highlights might be graded higher if professionally certified, making it a candidate for serious collector interest. In addition, clean coins without scratches, dents, or marks are naturally more valuable than those with heavy wear, even if they display minor errors. Collectors also pay attention to mint sets and rolls from 1979, as these often contain uncirculated coins in exceptional condition. A complete set of 1979 pennies from all three mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco proofs, can be particularly valuable when graded and certified. This is because the combination of mint origin, condition, and variety provides a comprehensive snapshot of the year's production. Completing such a set is a goal for many Lincoln Cent enthusiasts, and the final pieces often command premium prices when sold individually or as part of the collection. Finally, the 1979 penny is part of a broader narrative that connects collectors across generations. From young numismatists just starting to examine coins under magnification, to seasoned collectors who have spent decades tracking die varieties and error coins, the 1979 penny offers something for everyone. It's a coin that bridges ordinary circulation with the rarefied world of high-grade collecting, teaching patience, observation, and the value of careful preservation. Whether found in change, inherited from a family collection, or purchased through specialized dealers, the 1979 penny continues to fascinate and reward collectors who take the time to study and appreciate its details. For serious collectors, the 1979 penny isn't just a coin. It's a strategic asset, a piece of history, and a way to connect with generations of numismatists. Understanding how to evaluate, preserve, and acquire high-value examples is key to building a collection that holds both historical and financial significance. One of the first strategies is assessing condition and grading. Coins are graded on a scale from MS 60 to MS 70 for uncirculated coins. While MS 60 coins are uncirculated, they often lack full luster or have contact marks from the minting process. As the grade increases, coins become more flawless, with sharper details, full red color, and superior eye appeal. Collectors seeking investment-grade 1979 pennies focus on coins graded MS 67 or higher, often prioritizing red, RD. Examples over brown, BN, or red-brown, RB. Coins because the original copper surface retains its original brilliance. Another advanced technique involves spotting die varieties and errors. The 1979 penny is known for a number of subtle but collectible variations. Some coins show doubled lettering or numbers, particularly on Liberty or the date, 1979, known as double dies. Others may have off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to misalignment during the striking process. Still others show die cracks or cuds, raised lines or bumps that reveal flaws in the minting die. For a trained eye, these anomalies dramatically increase a coin's value. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance can, under magnification, reveal characteristics that place it in the higher echelons of collector interest. Collectors also explore mint mark variations, particularly between Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco coins. San Francisco proofs are especially collectible. In 1979, proofs were produced in Type 1 and Type 2 varieties. Type 2 coins have a sharper S mint mark and are more desirable. These proof coins, combined with the right grade, can reach prices well above standard circulation coins. Knowing the difference between Type 1 and Type 2 and understanding which coins are rarer gives collectors a market advantage. For example, a 1979 S-proof Type 2 graded PR 69 or PR 70 can sell for more than $2,000 at auction. Estate collections often yield some of the most valuable 1979 pennies. These coins may have been stored carefully for decades, untouched by circulation. Inherited rolls or coin boxes sometimes hide high-grade red coins or proof examples, which collectors prize. The element of surprise, combined with careful inspection, can turn an ordinary coin find into a significant market opportunity. Anecdotes from collectors abound. A single 1979 penny in perfect condition discovered in a drawer or a jar of coins has been known to fetch hundreds or even over $1,000 when sold to the right buyer. These hidden gems demonstrate that diligence, knowledge, and attention to detail can uncover extraordinary value in seemingly ordinary coins. Market strategy also involves understanding timing and sales channels. Coins sold through reputable auction houses, such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, often achieve higher realized prices than those sold through informal marketplaces. Professional auctions provide certification, verification of grade, and exposure to competitive bidding, which can dramatically increase a coin's final sale price. Coins listed online without certification, regardless of apparent rarity, often fail to reach their potential market value because buyers cannot be certain of authenticity or grade. Collectors who want to maximize returns focus on verified, certified coins with professional grading and clear documentation. The story of 1979 pennies also includes notable sales and rare examples. For instance, coins with extreme off-center strikes or prominent doubling can sell for thousands of dollars. A 1979 penny with a dramatic off-center strike that removed part of Lincoln's profile or the memorial from the reverse design is a highly sought-after collector item. Similarly, proof coins in flawless condition, especially Type 2 proofs, attract competitive bids from serious collectors and investors alike. Even small details, like fully struck lettering or exceptional luster, can increase a coin's market value substantially. Investors also consider the long-term potential of 1979 pennies. While most circulated coins are abundant and hold little premium over face value, high-grade uncirculated coins, proof coins, and error coins are limited in quantity. As time passes, surviving coins in exceptional condition become rarer, which can increase demand and, subsequently, market value. Coins with full red luster or those preserved in original mint packaging from 1979 are particularly appealing to collectors seeking both aesthetic appeal and long-term investment potential. The 1979 penny also illustrates the enduring appeal of the Lincoln cent series. Minted continuously since 1909, Lincoln cents carry historical significance and artistic value. The obverse features Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse showcases Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959. This combination of historical figures, iconic imagery, and careful craftsmanship ensures that even a seemingly ordinary 1979 penny carries cultural and numismatic significance. Collectors often find that 1979 pennies teach patience and careful observation. Learning to identify mint mark differences, subtle errors, die cracks, and proof varieties requires close study, magnification, and sometimes years of experience. Yet the payoff is substantial. A coin that might have been considered a mere 1-cent piece can turn out to be a prized collectible with both historical importance and tangible market value. The excitement lies not only in owning the coin, but in understanding its production, its place in history, and its journey from mint to collector. Finally, the 1979 penny remains relevant today for both novice and experienced collectors. Its combination of accessibility, subtle variations, historical context, and potential for high-grade examples ensures that it continues to attract interest. While the majority of coins remain common and inexpensive, the truly exceptional examples, uncirculated, proof, or error coins, demonstrate that even a coin minted over 40 years ago can offer both aesthetic pleasure and financial value. The 1979 penny thus stands as a testament to the enduring allure of coin collecting, blending artistry, history, and investment potential in a small copper disc that has quietly circulated through generations of American hands. For collectors and investors alike, understanding how to properly store and preserve a 1979 penny is as important as identifying its mint mark or condition. High-grade coins, proofs, and coins with unusual errors can lose significant value if they are scratched, exposed to moisture, or handled improperly. Many collectors use archival quality coin holders, airtight capsules, or coin albums with acid-free pages to maintain the original luster and prevent oxidation. Even fingerprints can slightly alter a coin's surface over time, so handling coins with cotton gloves or tongs is recommended. Preservation isn't just about aesthetics, it directly affects market value. A coin in pristine MS.68 red condition stored carefully can maintain or even increase in value over decades, whereas the same coin exposed to improper conditions can degrade to a lower grade, losing both collector interest and price. Another tip from experienced numismatists is to look closely at the edges and surfaces for subtle details. For example, Lincoln pennies are known for die varieties where letters, dates, or design elements may be slightly doubled, overpolished, or misaligned. A 1979 penny with a clear doubling on the word Liberty or on the date is far more valuable than a standard circulation coin. Minor die cracks along the rim or across the Lincoln Memorial can also elevate a coin's worth, especially when combined with excellent color and luster. Collectors often use magnification tools to detect these nuances, as the difference between a normal penny and a collectible variant may be almost invisible to the naked eye. Investment-minded collectors also pay attention to provenance and certification. Coins certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC carry documented grades and verified authenticity. This verification ensures buyers and sellers have confidence in the coin's quality and can significantly increase auction prices. For example, a 1979 D Lincoln cent in MS.67 red without certification might sell for a few $100s, whereas the same coin graded and certified could sell for more than $1,000. Certification also protects against fraud, misrepresentation, and inflated claims, which is especially important when dealing with rare proofs or error coins. Some of the most legendary 1979 pennies in collector circles are those that combine multiple factors: perfect red luster, exceptional strike, unusual mint error, and professional certification. Coins that check all these boxes become showpieces for private collections, museum displays, and high-profile auctions. Stories abound of collectors who purchased a single 1979 penny decades ago for just a few cents, only to discover later that it was a rare error or proof in perfect condition, transforming it into a prized asset worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. These coins are celebrated not only for their market value, but for their historical significance and the stories they carry. Each one represents a moment frozen in time, from the minting process to the hands of every individual who handled it before it entered a collection. The 1979 penny also serves as a gateway for new collectors to understand the broader world of coin collecting. By studying this coin, collectors learn about mint marks, grading systems, error varieties, die characteristics, and the economics of supply and demand. They gain insight into how minor differences can dramatically affect value, and why preservation and careful handling are crucial. This educational journey deepens appreciation for not just the 1979 penny, but for coins of all ages, origins, and denominations. Even as the world of coin collecting evolves, the 1979 penny retains its relevance. Its historical position in the Lincoln Memorial Series, combined with its copper composition, widespread circulation, and potential for rare varieties, ensures that it will continue to be studied, collected, and cherished. Collectors and investors understand that while most pennies are ordinary, the extraordinary examples, uncirculated, proof, or error coins, have a story, beauty, and value that goes far beyond their face denomination. The journey of a 1979 penny, from mint to circulation to collector hands, encapsulates over 4 decades of history, artistry, and passion. Ultimately, the 1979 penny is a testament to the enduring allure of coin collecting. It teaches observation, patience, and historical appreciation. It demonstrates how a small copper disc can connect people across generations, serve as a record of minting artistry, and even provide investment potential. Whether you find one in change, in an old coin roll, or in a professional numismatic auction, the 1979 penny offers an experience that is equal parts education, adventure, and discovery. It may be small in size, but its impact in the world of collecting is immeasurable. Every 1979 penny has a story, and every collector adds a chapter. Some may be common, some may be rare, but each one holds a piece of history. And for those who take the time to study, preserve, and appreciate them, these coins provide a window into the artistry, history, and economics of American coinage that continues to captivate collectors around the world today. The legacy of the 1979 penny proves that even the smallest coin can leave a lasting impression, and that the world of numismatics is filled with surprises waiting to be discovered, treasured, and shared for generations to come.